All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome again to the Youth Quest webinar. This is going to be a pretty quick presentation, but we're going to be going over all the details. This is the first presentation that we have that really just gives the overview of Youth Quest and a lot of the common asked questions, what resources you can find, what the process is going to be like. So we're going to be getting into all of those details. But just to let you all know, and we'll keep you all informed, we're going to have a second webinar that more so will provide more detailed information about how to go about Youth Quest, what to expect on the day of the event, how to support your youth sort of in that process, and more of those details. But right now, we're more so giving the overview and registrations information. Okay, so right off the bat, for any of you that are not familiar with us and our team, I just wanted to say, provide a warm welcome and a big hello. My name is Ignacio Burgos. I am the youth and young adult specialist with California Youth Advocacy Network. And I believe most of our team is present here. So if you happen to see them, their face as they're talking, feel free to say hello. But we're happy to have you all join us and just want to provide, that little presence, let you know who we are. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get started. All right, so if you are new to Youth Quest, and even if you've been there before, I really want to have us circle around the purpose. Why do we even do Youth Quest in the beginning? The first one really is, we as an organization working statewide and all of us here in the space as youth advocates, this is one of the biggest reasons of really promoting youth advocacy, making a space where youth can come together and have that opportunity to really not just express, but practice leadership and their agency and have a safe space for them to take lead in that process, right? And then the other thing is we do know that a lot of the youth that we work with, they put a lot of time into the work that they do in their communities, and they volunteer a lot of their time for our organizations and the efforts that we try to provide in our communities. So this is an opportunity for us really to thank them, provide an opportunity for them to put that into practice in person with other advocates, for them to know that they are not alone in the space, to see the big community that they are a part of, and that's that's a very big impact for a lot of the young people working in this space. And then it's also an opportunity for them to actually learn a little bit more about the public health efforts, be informed, get educated, and build their skills as well with to expand the work that they're doing. And they can take that home to their own communities. The other reason is a big part of this is really to really practice that grassroots connection and that effort. So this is our way as grassroots advocates, the youth that are present, to be able to share the information, all of the things that are going on in their community with their legislators. And last bit, and this is a powerful, a big one, is this is also an opportunity for young people to practice youth power, people power, and really understand what it means to actually engage with their decision makers and build that relationship and practice being present in that space. All right. So with all of that combined, also want to really express what makes Youth Quest unique, and that is that Youth Quest is youth created and it is youth led. So even from the beginning, we really modeled that by having our own youth board come up with a lot of the development. Okay, so and the youth board is they're advocates from all over the state of California. So they're representing many different communities. So it's already a diverse space there. But what they're doing throughout this whole process, they're coming up with the end logo. They are coming up with the actual key messages that are going to help guide, the whole state of California and all of the young people in this space as well. So again, that is all youth created. Anything that is about the way that we are engaging in the space, the type of vibe that we have, the theme, all of that is created by the youth board. So yeah, even from the beginning, this is a youth-led process and youth-led effort. And it's important for us to model that, but it is seen in the end too. And that's an impactful outcome for the young people in that space as well, to know that their peers, were part of leading this. Okay. So just to give a little review from last year, so you all know what to expect. Last year, it was a pretty big outcome, and we are seeing Youth Quest grow more and more over the years, which is exciting news. And just to put it out there, I think last year we had about 59 coalitions join with a total of 408 youth partners and adult partners together. So it was a lot of people, and it's great to see that, especially when we get to the end result and we're marching down the street, we're going to the west steps on the Capitol. It's a very beautiful sight to see, right? And I believe if anyone was present last year, we had it at a different location, but I'm glad to say that we are back at the Safe Convention Center, and this is a building that's been newly developed, I think, just a couple of years ago, really. But it's a really big, beautiful space. And that's where the Youth Quest event is going to be taking place. But I'm going to go ahead and provide a map to show everyone how to get there, and where the location is, sort of right from a bird's eye view. Oh, I'm sorry, Jocelyn. Is there anything else you want to add to this? Because I think this was your slide.
That's okay. No, you covered all the bases. Yeah, like you said, this is where we held Youth Quest 2022. So yeah, it's relatively close to where we held Youth Quest last year for 2023. Last year it was at the Sheraton Grand Hotel.
Mhm.
I think, yeah, right. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
So yeah, this time it's at the Safe Convention Center, which is a larger facility. So yes, you got it.
Okay. All right. So for traveling to the Safe Credit Union, the wonderful thing is that with the way Sacramento is designed, there's a lot of ways to get there from all sorts of different directions. So if anyone is coming from the airport, it is only about a 15-minute drive on a good day. Traffic, might increase that time, but even then, it wouldn't take it more than 20 minutes to get to this central location of Sacramento. We can also access the event through the Amtrak, and I would recommend the Amtrak is actually a good option as well. It's not as fast as the airport, but it does provide more ease of travel, sometimes less stress. But you do have to, um, uh, you could walk to other hotels nearby, or you could get transportation there. But the Amtrak station is actually very close to the location of the event too. Other than that, if you're driving, usually I-5 is going to be the exit that you will take to get off of to get to the location. And no matter whether you're coming from the north or south, J Street is going to be your exit, or exit 519B. And anyone that is local, that's going to be a little different depending on where you're coming from. You might be taking like 50 to 80, but don't worry about that. We can help you out with those details as well. Okay. And just to give um, just a quick overview of what the agenda is most likely going to look like. This is, same agenda as last year, the year before. It doesn't change much because this flow tends to work very well. But this is just what you can expect, where we open the doors starting at 8 a.m. So that provides a lot of time for people to come in, take their time to register. So we provide a whole hour prior to the event beginning. And even after the event begins, we have like 30 minutes where we are mainly focusing on our engagement, welcoming everyone, doing some icebreakers. And it's around 9:30 where we really begin our presentations. But the event basically goes until about 1:30, and that's when we finish by doing the legislative visits. So I'll go ahead and go over a little more of the details about some of those key moments throughout the day. Yep, when you arrive to the location to Safe Credit Convention Center, this picture is actually from that center as well. You will find the registration table. It's easy to get there and be able to register. Let us know that you're here, and at that point, that's when we would get you all set up and provide T-shirts for the event. And just to put a note, all the T-shirts are free. That's part of if you are part of 2B and you're paying the fee, or even if you are coming in without paying the fee, those t-shirts are all provided. I will say we do our best to try to have sizes for everyone based off of who is coming. And I don't know, just do we ask what sizes are needed per coalition? I don't know, or do we try to do our best to guess based off of numbers as usual?
I think this one is a guesstimate, I want to say. I think for the statewide conference, that's when we ask each individual person, but I don't know if Vicky can chat in or because she's usually in charge of the t-shirts, if she has a better answer.
Okay.
I can, yeah, and I'll just answer really
Perfect.
quick. So as Vicky said, it's a guesstimate. The reason that we have to do a guesstimate instead of ask participants is because we have to place the shirt order way before registration closes. So we're not able to customize, but we have a formula we use every year that's mostly successful. So we appreciate the grace for the t-shirt sizes.
Thank you. So just putting that out there, so the t-shirts are when you first get there, we try to provide a t-shirt of your size, but there is a possibility that there may not be enough. But as Kim said, usually our numbers, our guesstimate is pretty good with that formula that we use, and we usually have extra shirts. But as always, that's always a guesstimate, so we'll see how the outcome is. But yeah, those shirts are provided as well as meals and everything too throughout the day. So usually the way it works, once we start, we have that key message presentation. This is a very important part because this is how the youth board is informing the community of what the main theme is, what is the pressing issue that we want to focus on. That way, the community as a whole, we can have a collective message that we're presenting to legislators. However, even with these key messages, this is not an authoritative message. Anyone experiencing something different or wanting to modulate this message is free to do that. Hey, Yasmin. Oh, yeah, thank you. Sorry. Okay, so beyond that, after the key messages, we get into the chants. This is a fun part where we kind of have this wonderful energizer to get everyone engaged, get them shouting. And this is where we go over the chants that we're going to use for the march. Then after that little energizer, we come back into a presentation where we're teaching the youth audience how to do a legislative visit, what to expect, really teaching the difference between education and lobbying, which is a very important thing to understand because, right, we as government funded agencies cannot lobby. So we just have to really put that differentiation we have to present that differentiation for the audience. Okay, so after all the presentations, this is the fun part. We have this breakdown where everyone is going to get into their groups. And if anyone is a smaller coalition, we are able to combine groups so that you can have a larger group presenting to your legislator. So everyone's going to get together and prepare for your legislative visit. You're going to come up with your message, how you want to use the key messages that we provided. If you want to create your own, if you have a different, more pressing topic for your community that's unique, right, for your community. And then we're also going to take time to have basically a working lunch where everyone can put time into creating their posters to use for the march to the Capitol. Okay, and after that, we go to the Capitol. We have our press release speech, and this is always the time where it's very charged. This is that powerful moment where we see all of us in motion, that collective effort that we have. That's very inspiring, and to hear again the youth board and right young peers that are speaking to one another and to the general population and audience as well. All right, so that takes place before we do legislative visits. And I believe with the legislative visits, we meet in two different buildings. Kim, I might need your support here. There's the swing buildings, but then there's the main building where we may go depending on where your legislative office is located.
Yeah, so the Capitol is under construction right now. It's a 5-year project. All of the
Mhm.
committee offices are still open in the Capitol. So if you're interested in doing a tour of the part of the Capitol that's not under construction, or seeing any of the committee hearings, you can go in there. The majority of legislators are in the swing space, which is if you went to Youth Quest last year, you probably went there. If you went to INE last year, then you went into the building. It's actually a lot nicer than the Capitol. The Capitol offices were in the past. So that's where most of them are. I think there's just a handful of legislators that are across the street at a different building, but we'll have all of that written down with your ledge visit info and instructions on how to get to each space.
All right, thank you, Kim. Okay, and Jocelyn, I will pass it on to you, and I'll go ahead and give you remote control.
Thank you very much. Okay, hi everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jocelyn. I'm the program associate at CYAN, and I will be the person that will be primarily contacting you. So you may be receiving lots of emails from me from now on. So the first thing I want to go over is how to navigate our website to get to the Youth Quest page where you can find the registration button, as well as our frequently asked questions. So if you go on to our website at cyanonline.org, you will, I'm like, where's the button? Okay. And then you click our trainings and events up here. And then you would click events. It would bring you to this page, and then you would click Youth Quest. And as you can see, we already have some Earth Day stuff up there. So this is where our events are posted. And then once you're on that page, it's going to have the registration button and that frequently asked questions. Say if you find that you have some more questions afterwards, you might be able to find some answers there. If not, you can always contact me and I will be happy to share more info. Okay, so I will be going over the capacity and costs since it is different from years prior. This year, we are only allowing 2 adults and 6 youth per coalition. This is because we just want to make sure that this is a youth-led event. So we want to make sure that majority of the people there are youth. However, for those of you who anticipate more people coming, we will have a wait list. And waitlist is by order of registration. So the sooner you register, the better chance you have of, getting off that wait list. And then as far as the costs go, the event is free for youth and adults from CTPP funded organizations. For those of you who come from an organization that is not funded by CTPP, you will automatically be added to the the wait list once you register. However, there is an option to opt in to pay the $89 per participant fee if you want to skip that wait list. And then for our 2P programs, we are requiring this year that everyone pay a $89 fee per participant. And those are for the 2P programs that are coming. Okay, and then so how to register. So this is where it gets a little tricky. There's 2 big steps in this registration, right? The first one is once you register through that survey monkey link, that is where you will be asked for the coordinators' names, contact information. So the contact information you provide, you will want to provide the primary contact information. That is the one I will be sending all the emails to. So all the important information. You're going to provide a coalition name, anticipated number of youth attendees, as well as the legislative office you would like to visit. And if you don't know the legislative office, we have a link there where you can visit and then type in the zip codes of your youth to find out which legislative office works best for you all. So that's the first one. That's the first phase. Once I see that you have registered on SurveyMonkey, I will send out an email to the primary coordinator, to whoever's information was put in. And there will be 2 links in that email. The first link will be to a Google Drive, this Google Drive will hold all the forms you will need. So it will have the media authorization form, the liability form, and then also we included some school and parent letters last year that don't have to be filled out, but sometimes youth like to provide those letters to their parents or to their school administrators in case they, kind of need an explanation on why they will be missing school or, to give to their parents. So we can include that in the Google Drive as well. So the youth need to provide both a media release form and a liability form. Coordinators need only provide a liability form. So coordinators don't need to provide the media. Also, this email will have all the instructions on it. I know I'm saying a lot, so when I do send this email, it will have everything I'm saying on there. But yeah, so the second link will be to a Google Sheets link. And in that link, it's going to be a custom link for your coalition. And it's going to look like that image at the bottom that I've posted. You're going to want to include the names of the people that are attending, as well as the ages of the youth and the cities that the youth are coming from, just in case we need to reference back to see if they're constituents. Sometimes the legislative offices will ask that information. Then on our side, we will click if you've turned in the media consent form and the liability forms for the youth, that's going to be our responsibility. So when you receive those forms, you can go ahead and send them to me, and I will check that little box off. Now, if you have any people you want to put on the wait list, you are welcome to put them on that wait list below that yellow line. And when we get the final list of participants, we are able to go in and, we have to figure out our system, and we will let everyone know once they get off the wait list. Yeah, okay, let me click next. Okay, so for that first, the SurveyMonkey registration, that closes February 2nd. So that is your primary goal right now. Just get that SurveyMonkey registration done, and then you'll be expecting an email from me. And then the coalitions need to register their youth by February 16th. So that's that Google Sheet where you put in your youth's names and everything. So that's going to be due by February 16th. Okay. And then now I'm going to pass it back to Ignacio. I know I said a lot of information. I'm sorry if I overwhelmed anyone, but again, as soon as you register on that SurveyMonkey, I will send an email out with all of that information that I just covered. But yeah, go ahead, Ignacio. Do I have to give remote access back to you?
Nope, it is all good. And I think someone had a question, but I think you just answered it. But just checking in with Nancy, let us know if your question was answered. She was
Yes, but I
asking.
haven't received it yet. I
Yes.
registered and I haven't received it. That's why I was asking.
Yes, we are still working on,
Okay.
I still have to update the email and as well as the forms from last year.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna get on that today, so you can probably expect one maybe by the end of today, or
Well, no,
early
it's
next
okay.
week.
No, we just started the paperwork on the school. That's why I was
Okay.
wanting to have the staff, but we are okay. We still have some days, so good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, all right. All right. So, safety protocols, as always or usual, we are basically just going following the same guidelines as the California Department of Public Health Department, or California Department of Public Health. So, these are just some guidelines that we want to provide and model and really just express to you all. And the first one is simply like if you happen to have any COVID-19 symptoms, I know that Youth Quest is a big event, something that a lot of people are looking forward to, but we are just asking that you stay home, right? So especially really trying to practice that safety and consideration for those that are at higher risk of the more severe health outcomes. We really want to keep them in mind. So yeah, any COVID-19 symptoms, better to stay home, even if you're sort of unsure. Again, better to practice safety versus experiencing, if we call it for what it is, the FOMO, fear of missing out. It's okay. All right. The second one is we're not requiring anyone to test to see if you have COVID 72 hours prior, like last year. However, if you do have any symptoms, again, that you think could be COVID-19 symptoms or even a cold, we are suggesting to test, just again to be safe. And last bit, we're not requiring masks. I think this was the case last year as well. But again, if at any time you are experiencing symptoms while you are at the event, that is when we are asking that you do wear a mask, again, to practice good safety. And we will provide masks, and we will have those on site for just any event for that preparation. Okay. And again, just last bit, if you do at any time test positive for COVID-19, just please stay home. That's all we ask. All right. So we can finish off with some of the resources that we do have and we are currently developing. First one is the Youth Quest flyer. Currently, it's not available, but it will be by the end of the day. So after today, I'm going to be updating all of the links on this slide that we're going to share afterwards. So when you do receive the slides of this presentation, you will be able to click the links for all these resources, as well as the links at the end. And I'll go over that in a second. So yeah, and the Youth Quest flyer, you can use this to offer to your the youth that you're trying to ask if they want to go, to share with their parents. I always encourage, Youth Quest is a great incentive to offer to your youth partners as well, because it is a great experience just to let them know, if you're part of this coalition, if you're with our group, this is also something that we can, this is an experience that we can provide for you and have you be a part of. Okay, so that's where that flyer really comes in hand. And then the other thing is we have the Youth Quest FAQ sheet. You can find it online, but again, for ease of access, we're going to provide that link here in this this slide or this document. And last, I'm so happy to say that we have revamped and developed our Youth Quest pre-event training. This is going to basically go into a lot more details, and this is a resource that you can take yourself, to be honest, and share with your youth partners, so that again they can understand the purpose of Youth Quest, what it looks like, what they can expect throughout the whole event. And there's a little additional module there within this training that goes over the legislative process. So again, they understand the importance of their role in showing up to this event and talking with their legislators, and what that how that shows up within the whole process, and how impactful it really is to be here in this space. Okay. So with that, I am going to, let me make sure my sound is shared. I'm going to share the event video that we created from, I think this is Youth Quest 2022. Give me one sec, make sure I'm sharing my sound. And I'll go ahead and play this video for everyone to see if you haven't been to Youth Quest before.
Every Youth Quest, even including our virtual one from last year, we have aimed to educate and inform our legislators about the importance of protecting our communities from commercial tobacco.
With youth from as far north as Mendocino County to those as far south as San Diego County, each young person here today has their own unique experiences interacting with the environmental harm stemming from the tobacco industry.
We are fighting for sustainable change in our communities to create a healthier environment and a better tobacco-free tomorrow.
A whopping 200 people from 24 coalitions are here today in person, with another 300 people and 40 coalitions are joining us today online. Today, our rally and our march to the Capitol signifies our strength and our motivation to end this problem, and to educate others to spread awareness about the serious issues that big tobacco has subjected our communities to. Youth Quest uplifts us to work together to create a successful march to the Capitol.
Tobacco product waste
needs to be erased.
Tobacco product waste needs to be erased. Anti-tobacco litter, save our careers. Anti-tobacco litter, save our careers. We are strong. We are strong. Big tobacco has done it wrong. We are strong. We are strong. Big tobacco has done it wrong.
Youth Quest 2022 specifically focuses on big tobacco's serious crimes against Mother Nature, our environment. The growth, production, and manufacturing of commercial tobacco is severely destructive to our earth. Tobacco preys, wildfires blaze, and the earth pays.
With the tobacco industry's manipulation of young minds, it is more important than ever to be proud of your work. Look around at all of these other advocates. We are all fighting for the same cause. Embrace your true passions and rise up to protect your communities regardless of the judgment you might face.
With the tobacco industry and their constant attacks on the environment and on our youth, the need for action is now. The need for education, for policy change, and for individuals like the ones present here today who are willing to join the fight against the tobacco industry, that is imperative and that is paramount to this issue. Whether the work is on the school level, the city level, the county level, or the statewide level, I encourage youth across our state to join our efforts in educating and advocating for tobacco control to counteract the environmental harms done by the tobacco industry. Youth are the leaders of today and tomorrow, so it is imperative that we work collectively to protect our environment and to protect our future generations from commercial tobacco and from big tobacco.
All right. Okay, always gotta leave space for those credits at the end because that's always important. Okay, so I'll go ahead and continue. So as I said, the resources page, this is just everything neatly put together, but we'll update this with the flyer as well. Beyond that, if anyone has any questions now, we can answer them. If you want to put it in the chat, if you want to mute yourself, and then if you want to reach out to us, you can reach out to, if it's anything around basically registration questions and the process for that, reach out to Jocelyn. If you have any questions with around your coalition, trying to do outreach to youth and any advice on that, feel free to reach out to me, or you can just reach out to info@cyanonline.org in general, and then we can figure out who's the best person to reference there. Hey, glad to hear, Javier. It's your second year attending. You got it. And thank you all for being here in this space and continuing to really just work with young people. It's definitely a space that not everyone understands. And so I share this passion with you all, and always happy to be in the space with people that really do share these values. Thanks, Wendy. All right.
And just Ignacio, there's a question in the chat back from Madison about this year's theme. The youth board came up with a different theme this year. Last year, the focus was on health equity. This year, we're just finalizing things. They met this past weekend, and we're hoping to have the theme and the new logo released within the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
So there's another question from Stephanie. That's a great question. It depends on what type of experiences you're interested in. But it's always great if you're sticking around in Sacramento to go into the Capitol and check out. You can check out the question is what else is educational in the Sacramento area. So you can go check that out. In the Capitol, you can. If you want, there's some really cool like hiking trails that also have nature centers and some really cool information and exhibits on one of our local tribes, the Nisenan tribe. that's a little bit outside of the Sacramento area. There's all sorts of things. So Stephanie, if you want to reach out to anyone from our team, we can find out more about what you are looking into, what you're interested in learning, and then we can connect you to some of the right fun things to do. Oh, and we are home to a massive university. So we are home to Sacramento State University. We are home to an NBA team. And so those would be fun places to go to and show your young people what those spaces look like. So happy to help plan out that day for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'll also mirror the mention of like the Crocker Art Museum, MOSAC. If going to a museum, I think there's like there are a lot of historical museums here in Sacramento as well. There's, as Kim said, a lot of trails. The American River is something you can do, and I think the Old Town Sac is another thing that has a lot of just fun little shops to see a little bit of sort of the downtown Sacramento vibe. And then we'll always say, yeah, the college is a very beautiful campus. Of course, I might be biased. It's where I graduated, but in general, it's a very beautiful place to see. And even just seeing colleges presenting that as an opportunity for youth, it really is impactful, especially with opening up the view of what's possible, what that looks like, and imagining themselves in the same kind of space. Okay.
Kim, when can we expect this on our website, or not website, our YouTube? Is it going on our YouTube? This recording?
Yes. So as soon as we are off this call, I will drop it into our YouTube and then link it into our website. We are also working on getting a downloadable flyer onto the website as well. That should be hopefully within the next hour or so. So you can just click on that flyer and download it if you like. And then the last thing that we are working on finalizing, that new training that Ignacio had mentioned, the pre-event training, we just have to move it from our authoring tool somewhere. I'm working on that right now. So hopefully we will have that out to you all. That will come via email. We'll also put the link on our website, just because even though it's specific to Youth Quest, the whole curriculum goes through an overview of how to put together key messages to meet with legislators, lobbying versus education, and also, as Ignacio had mentioned, just understanding California's unique legislative process. The reason that we created that this time around, we heard from those of you who attended last year that there was an interest in receiving additional training prior to the event. And for a lot of young people, they also kind of wanted to understand what to expect before traveling here. So totally voluntary, but a really good training that you can kind of select what content you want and go along through that process. So that will also be on our website, but Jocelyn will include it in the email confirmation that she sends out to registered coalitions.
If there are any more questions, we will stick around. Let us know. Other than that, I think it sounds like this webinar is coming to a close. Thank you, Liz. Have a good day, everyone. Looking forward to see you there.